Welcome to the home of the Fez Heads, custodians of the European Cup. But today, the scene of Saracens Storm versus Bristol United in the Premiership A-League. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. and we are bringing it to you live. Saracens, it's a club that eats victory flakes for breakfast. However, of late, they find themselves on a 4-match losing streak. Mitigating factors include the squad being ravaged by Eddie Jones's Twickenham Travails, but these Wolves set themselves higher standards than the average bear. And while they'll look to get their season back on track tomorrow against Quins at the Stoop, winning is a habit, and they'll look to kick the weekend off in such fashion today in the A-League against Bristol. The men from the West Country, with a perfect 10 from 10 in the Championship this season, are champions-elect. And if the transfer murmurings are to be believed, they're beginning to build an army to launch an assault on next year's Premiership. That is the Bugs Bunny-sized carrot dangling for their A-League side today, who with the first away today at Doncaster will be looking to stake their claim in front of coaches Mark Irish and Sean Marsden. The A-League itself, as is the fashion of late with rugby tournaments around the world, the structure is not self-explanatory in its navigation. For those not 100% au fait of proceedings, here's how it works. 13 teams are split into 2 divisions, North and South. The North has 6 teams who play each other home and away, with the top 2 going through to the semi-finals. The South, it's a little trickier. 7 teams play each other either home or away, and after that phase, the bottom 2 are eliminated. The top 5 then go on to a mini secondary phase where they play each other all again. The top 2 from that secondary phase then meet their northern counterparts in those semi-finals for a shot at glory in the final. Just to keep you abreast of how things have been going and what's at stake today, we have the Southern Conference here for you. As you can see, Exeter Braves have been smashing it. 5 wins from 5, with Gloucester in hot pursuit, 3 wins from 5. Quins, they've won 3 but have only played 4, and then here we are, today's 2 rivals. Saracens Storm can conceivably secure that next round spot with a win today, and Bristol United desperate for a win if they want to make it. The teams themselves, there's youth coursing through the veins of each side, with the bulk senior academy boys. Some wise old heads are present though to add some experiential ballast, notably for Saracens in the shape of Kieran Longbottom and Mike Ellery, the former England 7 superstar. So to talk you through the teams, at prop, Titi Lamasatelli, Tad McElroy, Kieran Longbottom, Danny Cutmore, Mike Flanagan, Jack Ney, Joel Conlon and Ben Earl. Moving into the backs, the talented Sevens player Tom Whiteley, who recently played LV Cup for Saracens, Max Mayland, who started against Exeter Chiefs in the Premiership last week, Rotti Segan, Ruben Bertullock, Nick Tompkins, Mike Ellery and Matt Gallagher at fullback. Warwick Lang is looking after the teams today, but there is an influence from Adam Powell and Kelly Brown hovering over these young men also. Onto the visitors. Jack Cosgrove takes prop, Nick Fenton-Wells at hooker, Ollie Dorr, Joe Bately, Ahize Azoni, James Dunn, Jack Capon, currently studying at Exeter University, and Sam Graham make up that back row. Reece Collins in at 9, Callum Sheedy at 10, and a name everybody knows, the top try scorer in Premiership history, Tom Barndell on the wing. Jack Tovey, a Bristol stalwart with 168 caps for the first team, comes in at centre. Jack Wallace at 13, Aaron Chapman at 14, and Ryan Edwards, the man marshalling the backfield. Mark Irish and Sean Marsden will be in charge of the sides today. Few replacements for you as well. Capelli Pifoletti is the replacement hooker, Hayden Thompson stringer, Oti Pifoletti, John Kapoku, Sean Raffel, Alex Gilkston, Ollie Morris and Ali Crosdale make up the Saracen Storm bench. For Bristol United, it's Nick Freeman, Jack O'Connell, Alex Giltro, Sam Tiley, Sam Taylor, Ryan Glynn, Ewan Hughes and Tom Hagen. A comment on the stadium. Allianz Park. It's exposed, it's blustery, it's remote. Few teams come to this imposing stadium and leave with any points, and on occasion without respectability. On a sparse day like today, for an A-League game where the crowd is not buoyant, there's a slightly dystopian feel to the place, but Bristol will be hoping there's no apocalyptic day in store for them. The A-League has come on. It encountered problems earlier in the season with injuries and cancelled games, but it's beginning to find its foot. And with those said injuries for first teams, it's important that these young starlets get a run out and an opportunity to play the patterns that they train in. There's some older campaigners who are coming back from injury, most notably for Saracens, Kieran Longbottom. The 31-year-old Aussie has 57 caps for the Western Force in Super Rugby. He briefly went to Sale, but Saracens wanted him back, so they signed him again for this season. He's been injury plagued, 714 days. He was injured for before making his debut for Sale, but he's now back trying to make a tilt for this Saracens team that is aiming for so much success in the forthcoming season. Here come the visitors, Bristol. Bristol in their traditional garb of white, blue with red trim. As I said, those colours will be trotting out against Doncaster in the Championship at Castle Park at the same time today. A must-win team for Bristol if their ambitions are to be realised and Premiership glory is theirs once more. Their last outing was against Gloucester United, and they had an agonising 33-36 defeat. They led at half-time handsomely, but Gloucester fought back. After Saracens today, it's Quins up next away, so they'll want to get this victory in the bag. Saracens emerging now. There's a host of England under-20 players here. It's a who's who of national representation, but also an elder statesman in Mark Flanagan. 28 years old, he's recently been on loan at Munster, having played against Cardiff in the Pro 14 and Castra in the Euro Cup. He's vying for a place to get back into the first.
Yeah, sorry, there.
But
Ben, how we doing?
Saracens to kick off, Max
Ready?
Malin, the man with the ball.
Okay, it's time to run, boys.
Referee
Time
Fergus
on.
Kirby to boot us off. Saracens go deep.
Tackle!
And Bristol carry across the 22.
Ball's available, back foot. Taken in.
Bristol looking to play early.
Release,
With the
tackle
ball out the
two!
back.
Back foot, back foot.
And here he is. Big man, Ahize Azoni, ex-Wasps. Muscled into touch. And classic Saracens defensive dominance being shown right from the off.
Numbers. 6.
Nick Fenton-Wells with his hands on the ball. Here we come. Try on the horizon. Sam Graham charging through. And what a statement from the men from Saracens. Callum Sheedy receiving Max Malin's receiving a great delivery from Tom Whiteley, and Ben Earl, the England under-20, charging through the gap unopposed to dot down.
Get his GPS up.
A wonderful start for Saracens there. Bristol will be disappointed, conceding off first phase ball, but the game is young. Max Malin with the kicking responsibilities today. He didn't kick last week against Chiefs. Ben Spencer took that responsibility. So let's see if there's any rust on him. Straight and true. Malins adds the extras. 7-0 Saracens. And here's a replay of that try. Ball off the top in the line. Whiteley to Malins. Few dummy runners. Yep. And it's into Ben Earl's mitts, who charges through to the line unopposed. The try scorer with his hands on the ball from the kick.
Tackle! We're inside. Ball is out.
Oh,
it's
pilfered.
Clearly out.
Pilfered by the Bristol man. Kirby says it's okay, the ref.
Ball is on the side of the ruck.
And Ollie Dorr, another England 20, charges it up. Hizoni, he's going to be carrying big for the men from Bristol today. And that's Jack Tovey.
Tackle!
168 caps, 33 tries for the first team. He's been a Bristolian since 2009. A man desperate to get back into that championship team.
Backwards.
Nudge through, spilt by Whiteley. He's in trouble here. But
Black
great
stay.
vision sees him out of danger.
Good.
It's not out though. And we'll have the counter from Ryan Edwards. Nice switch there. Bristol on the charge again. Oh, spilled in the midfield there, and it's advantage Saracens. They sling it wide. Rotti Segan, he's the flyer on the wing. They tried to get it out there, but they step back inside instead. Forward power, keeping it tight.
Use it!
Earl marshalling his fellow forwards. And there's a chase for Rotti Segan.
Backwards or blue? Always backwards.
Confusion there, and Bristol emerge with it, and time for a counter. Aaron Chapman linking up with Ryan Edwards once again. And here's Jack Capon, the Exeter University student, rangy number 6. And a lifting option in the line out. The ref calls time on a frenetic period of play. Some errant kicks, some drop balls, and a bit more control required from both sides.
You are. I can't. They asked me the question, 9.
Put in Saracens.
Keep the space.
Another chance for them
Shoulder
to
one
show us
blue,
what they've
shoulder
got
one blue.
on first phase set piece.
Crouch! Bind! Free kick,
Referee not happy, free kick goes quickly from Whiteley. It's into Malin's hands, he cuts a nice line, but loses the ball in contact. He puts his hand up to acknowledge his error. I'm sure he'll have plenty of opportunities to make amends. So Bristol put in for the scrum this time. We haven't seen them really lock horns. An immediate free kick on the first scrum of the game. So let's see what the big piano movers up front can do. As I said previously, the experience of Kieran Longbottom in there for Sarries. Tad McElroy is a prospect as an Ireland under 20. And Hayden Thompson-Stringer as well. For Bristol, interestingly, Nick Fenton-Wells has played most of his rugby at flanker, but he's transitioning to hooker. Varndale, the danger man. His old England Sevens compatriot Mike Ellery tackles him to the ground. Runners off 10 for Bristol, punching a hole in the middle. And it's a penalty. Nice play from Bristol. Crisp hands, plenty of runners, lots of options off Callum Sheedy. That's auspicious work.
Put black on the line, Andrew.
A modest tilt at touch there, but their line out on their own throw in Saracens 22, they will not sniff at. Hizoni gets up there nicely, and they build for a drive. Saracens have skewed it slightly, but it looks like Bristol have got their shape back.
Still moving.
It's right at the back there with that man Fenton Wells, the former flanker. Varndell in the middle, bit isolated, double hit.
13 release.
But Bristol are in well to recover. Forwards need to work hard to get behind the ball. Little flip out the back door, looked marginally forward, but snaffled by Jack Happon.
Push, push.
A little bit static there from Bristol. That famous Saracens Wolfpack defence smothering them quickly, but they find a bit of front foot still, and Sheehy's on the ball. Tovey caught, but still carries well. And that's Joe Batley. Joe Batley looks, has he been held up? Wrestles himself to the floor. Hizoni with another carry. He loves getting his hands on the ball. The 2 second rows doing an awful lot of carrying grunt work at the moment. But a lovely touch from Sheehy for Tovey to run onto. Offloads, ball spills, Earl's on it. The grubber through, and eventually a knock on from Batley. Lovely invention from Sheedy there. And Tovey reading his mind. Let's take another look. Little nudge over the top, Tovey gathering, went for the offload. Fenton Wells, good support, but he couldn't hold on to it. This 4G pitch here at Allianz Park lending itself to some clean and tidy rugby. Gone are the boggy days of when they used to play at Watford.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Scrum's looking evenly matched at the moment. Very steady. This is good ball for Ben Earl here.
Ball's gone.
He picks out to Malin. They go to the short side. That's Tompkins, a man with over 50 caps for the first team. Played a man of the match role against Ospreys in the Champions Cup recently in that narrow victory where Ospreys really impressed. Malin looking to clear the lines. And straight to Ryan Edwards. He's looked assured and threatening every time he gets the ball so far today. Good start for him. Pick through the middle from Varndell. Wrestles his way for an extra couple of metres. Shouts from the stands, from the Saracens faithful, get up, get up, get up. That blitz defence, that Wolfpack defence, charging through, but they're looking a little bit placid there. Although he's been ripped, Bristol have been ripped.
Of course, he's got his knee to floor, therefore you haven't released him.
Gets away with it, looked like it was a fair rip.
His knee had got to floor, therefore you'd never release.
Penalty Bristol. Appears to be not releasing.
No.
Potentially made it to the floor.
Ben, have a word with 9, please. That's twice he's tried to talk to me inappropriately.
Quick tap from Sheedy. Crossfield. Aaron Chapman's looking for it, but Rotti Seagans snaps it up.
Tackle release!
Out to touch. That'll be a Bristol ball, and they've had plenty of it so far.
Off you go.
Sounds like dissent from up here in my gantry point.
I've just warned you, off you go.
Tom Whiteley. You'd expect a little more measure from Tom Whiteley with his experience, but the referee marking his territory early. He'll not take any nonsense from any of the players.
I'm not going to have them shouting at me all game.
Sheedy nudges to touch, and I think
on your three,
Saracens
please,
will have learnt their lesson. The referee is taking no prisoners today.
Next time it'll be a free kick.
Referee instructing the players that next time it'll be a free kick. if he hears any chat back. But that's by the by. As Saracens disrupt the Bristol line out, they have a put in on their 22 and an opportunity to clear their lines and get a bit of ball back. They haven't really had the ball much. They defended well. Bristol are showing a lot of variety in their attack, but Saracens have an answer for it every time so far.
Second. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Oh, Bristol looked to have the nudge on there, but the referee deems that there was some nefarious play in the front there, collapsing at the front. And this is a great opportunity now for Saracens.
One blue.
Malin clears emphatically.
We'll put blue on the
It's
line
Saracens' ball. It's a line out on the halfway and a chance to attack.
It was on the mark.
The highly rated McElroy, the Irishman, with his hands on the ball. And they put Danny Cutmore up, who's dragged down in the air, it looks like, and it's another penalty. The discipline of Bristol wavering in the aftermath of Saracens' own indiscipline.
Yeah, he just caught his arm, that's why he's dropped it.
Again, Malin makes sure of it, and this time the line is a metre into the 22.
End of the line's yours, fella.
Their last line out in this position from the other side of the pitch, albeit yielded that early try for Ben Earl. So let's see if the Bristol centres are up to the threat that will be coming their way shortly.
Move!
It's a catch and drive this time, and they've got the nudge on.
Keep it up, Blue!
McElroy at the back.
2 out now, Blue,
It's an irresistible force at the moment.
He's through the middle, 6 Blue
But
through the
Bristol
middle.
break it up, have they? No, the charge is still on. McElroy's still got his hands on the ball. They held it up one last time. The referee's happy that that hasn't illegally been dragged down. In fact, even better,
Black has initiated the
it's
downward
been
movement
held
there.
up successfully by
turnover.
Bristol. It looked
Black
for all
2.
money that Saracens were going to be rumbling over for their second try of the game there. But fantastic work from that man who we've mentioned a few times now, Fenton Wells, with his mitt, grass around the ball and getting his body in the way.
Hey, back, baby, go again.
15 minutes played. It's been a little bit of a bitty game so far. Both teams have had their share of ball.
Space, please, gents.
We're looking to get a bit more structure from now on. But first things first,
Bind!
Bristol need to get out of this hot water
Set!
and find themselves in. Early nudge from the Saracen scrum.
Early weight through.
The coaches will be livid at that. All they needed to do was keep it fair, and Bristol would have been under pressure to clear their lines, and then they would have had their own throw in. Here's only with the tackle.
Ball is available.
Nice feet from Hayden Thompson-Stringer. Tompkins smashed, but he gets through. McElroy again, plenty of meaningful impacts in the game so far, as is the try scorer Ben Earl, who carries well. At the back, great line. That's Bird Tullock, a former Eltham College student, making inroads. Does well to hold on to that, Danny Cutmore, a little bit behind him. Malin's on the ball again. Oh, McElroy, double hit, but carries well through that gap, and it's front foot for Tompkins. Offloads, but Thompson-Stringer spills under pressure. The pass under pressure from Tompkins, and the reception under pressure. And My apologies, just to clear up, there's a late change, and playing number 1, starting at prop, is TT Lamasatelli. So my apologies to you, TT, for referring to you as Hayden Thompson-Stringer for the first 15 minutes of this game. Bristol with the put.
Crunch!
Scrums have been pretty evenly matched so far. Saracens need to hold their nudge this time. The referee's certainly not happy with how things are going at scrum time at the moment. I imagine a word is on the horizon for all 6 of the main men up front.
Deliberately slowing that down, boys, because I'm not happy with the stability. Let's wait for my call, please. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Oh, great shove from Saracens, but it spills out the back for Bristol. And they're on the attack. Sheedy attacking the line. That's Edwards. Getting his hands on the ball again. Saracens shooting hard, pressure from Benar. Broken play. Jack Wallace there, making a few inroads himself now. Sheedy offloads once again to Ehizoni. He's always there on his shoulder as a bailout option at the moment. Oh, good hit, Jack Cosgrove dealt with.
Survive. 8-9 stayed good.
Good tackle. Saracens defending well. Bristol have made no ground in these last few phases. Sheedy goes for the kick again, but it's a little less cultured. Straight to Saracens' hands.
Black stay.
And Gallagher tries to get in behind the Bristol defence.
That's taken in.
Not a clean take from Sam Graham, but it goes back. And he carries. Vandell over the ball. Magnificent defence from Saracens at the moment. Look at where Bristol started and look at where they've been shoved back to. They've lost 30 yards so far. But they free up Vandell, who shows the wheels. Nice little ball, he's still in support. There's the offload. Is anyone going to catch him from there? No way, Jose. Vandell gets the Bristol scoreboard ticking after a lovely bit of interplay down the left wing. He was freed up into space. Sam Graham is number 8 in support. Carried well, held on, offloaded to Vandell, who was sniffing on the support line. Here he comes. This is great work from Graham. Rides a tackle, aware for the offload, and no one catches Vandell from that distance. There's a reason that man has 91 tries in the English Premiership. And it's just that killer instinct. Callum Sheedy with an opportunity to add the extras. The kick goes straight and true, and we're level pegging, 7-all. Here's another shot at that Vandell try. Graham was involved all the way. He fed the initial pass. Vandell fought off his would-be defender so that he'd be there for the support line. In under the sticks almost, and congratulated by his teammates warming up. Confident take there from Bristol. The most vulnerable time for a team is after they score. They'll look for an efficient exit. Oh, big hit in the middle. Jack Tovey caught.
Taken in.
He wrestles his way out again. He's been caught a couple of times, but has shown great strength in every encounter. Gallagher puts up the Gary Owen. Malin's under it. Oh, wonderful take from Malin. Steals it in the air. Sam Graham's over it and he thinks he has it. No, that's Toby, my apologies.
You need to lead by.
But the referee
Oh, he had a penalty against.
deems it to be illegal.
Be very, very careful.
It sounds like Ben Earl might have been
No
giving
clear
the referee a
release.
little bit of
Ground, no
unwanted
clear release.
instruction, and he has another word about the vocal nature of Saracens' play at the moment. That's something they're going to have to watch throughout the game. They've been warned twice now.
Good, you're there. End of the line.
Here's the tape from Malin. Gallagher with the big up and under. Probably didn't go quite as far as he wanted, but Malin soared and stole it. A
That's the last
fantastic
time
bit
I'm
of
gonna
play
ask
from
you,
the young
Bristol.
number 10. To the back.
Breakaway 4! Good.
Here's Earl.
No hands, 2!
Carry there from Lamasatelli, the USA Eagle prop.
No, you stepped out. You stepped away from that.
Bird Tulloch on the charge. A little dab in behind from Malin, but the chase isn't quite there. Edwards picks it up, wrestles hard.
Hands!
Under
Back foot,
Ellery's
keep going, that's good.
confrontation. Oh, maybe too much ambition being shown there by Bristol in their own 5-metre channel, and they're right on their own
Clear
line
back
now.
foot, stay back.
Trying to bludgeon their way out, but the
Step
defence
two,
is
all the way.
hard from
All the way.
Saracens.
Use it!
Goes to the box, charged down by Saracens, smothering that attempted box. It's out for a Bristol line.
Back here,
Here
back
we go,
here.
hungry defence. Hungry defence.
Listen, please, fella. Here we go.
And who was that? Mark Flanagan, the Irishman. Ex-Leinster, recently on loan at Munster. Played a bit of Champions Cup. So he's in rude health currently. And looking hungry as well by the looks of that charge down.
Touch!
Bristol with the exit, but it's only to Gallagher, who's a threatening runner. Fenton Wells manacles him again.
Well
He's
done,
been
three,
everywhere
good
so
lad.
far this half, Fenton Wells. And that's Lamasatelli, the USA Eagle. Malin's attacking the line, wriggling through. Ahizoni's down in the middle, looks like a nasty injury. The play's a little bit close.
Scrum black here. Can't play with
And
him.
the
down
referee
here.
quite rightly
Safety,
calls a
boys, okay?
stop to proceedings. Not quite sure what happened there,
Bugger.
maybe in a tackle. But he was prostrate there, down on the floor, and the referee calling for a halt as play began to edge towards the injured man.
Careful on the line now.
It's a shame for Saracens there. They had some real nice front foot momentum. Lamasatelli carrying powerfully through the middle, and Malin's hitting the line so flat and so hard. It's difficult for the, here he goes, bang.
Do it, you got to do back of the line.
It was in that carry from Lamasatelli. And then Malin's hitting the line, wriggling
Be
through.
a black scrum here, boys.
Another carry through the middle. And there, the play stopped for the injured Bristolian. The ex-Wasp man went to school at St Benedict's, which is not too far away from here in Ealing, actually. So I imagine he's known around these parts. So we had
14
an
left of the
opportunity
half.
to catch up with the league table at a bit of a rush before the game. So in this pause, while Ehizoni is taken care of, we'll just take a look. As you can see, Saracens lying fourth at the moment, played for 1-2, 11 points, and Bristol just below, having only won 1. They both actually lost their last 2 games. Saracens against Exeter Braves last week, a very, very strong Exeter Braves side. They've played 5, won 5, winning 41-23 last week. The message was from that game that the forwards were probably overwhelmed by a bruising Exeter pack, but the backs more than held their own.
Yeah, good man.
Today it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be a very evenly poised match. with Bristol, who came off the back of that loss against Gloucester United last week.
Keep our space this side, people. Yeah.
Doing
Keep
well in an intimidating place to come and play.
Keep our gap, ear to ear.
Saracens put in, centre of the park. Great attacking platform.
Bind!
What are they going to do with it?
Set!
They go to the right. Feed it to Whiteley. A knock on from Vandel and the tackle potentially there. But Ben Earl's on it.
Okay, first knock on by Black.
A knock on from Saracens into the tackle is the call from the ref. So he brings the play back. Vandel shooting out the line, pressuring the man on the ball there and forcing the error. Bristol put in what is becoming a slightly error-strewn period of the game. No team able to pull consistent phases together just at the moment. Saracens look to be on the horizon of some real continuity in the play before, but as you said, they stopped prematurely for the injured man. Saracens, though, winning it against the head. Earl picks up. Here's a chance for Saracens. Another carry from the Saracens back row. Jack Ney getting in on the act.
Backwards, backwards!
Offloads, ball spills, Whiteley's on it. Needs some help from his pack. And they're there in the shape of Mark Flanagan. They set themselves again. Whiteley snipes. He's scragged. And the forwards lining up now. McElroy, he wants it. Oh, Rotty Seagun looking for work, hungry for work. He's bored out on that left wing, so comes in centre field and makes a purposeful carry. Malin gives it to Bert Tulloch. Whiteley's in support. Lamasatelli, static. He's a big unit, he can handle himself.
Use it! Leave it, 5.
Carry again. Whiteley marshalling his forwards. Joe Conlon with the carry. Another carry. There he is. And it's over. Bludgeoned through the middle by the big man. Unstoppable from 10 yards. With a teammate on his back, he was smuggled through with a bit of brutality. Lamasatelli, he's put his hand up numerous times and he's carried well. And here, with Tompkins on his back, there was no stopping the big man from the USA. Disappointing for Bristol. They defended very, very well to slip off those 2 tackles, even though the man's a nugget. They'll be disappointed. Malins, chance to make it 2 from 2. No doubt about it. Through the sticks and into a 7-point lead. Patient phase play here from Saracens, keeping it tight, keeping it narrow. Conlon then gets his hands on the ball, carries well. Again, driven through by Danny Cutmore. And Lamasatelli just out of shot is lurking with intent. Tompkins gets on his back. And he's through over the whitewash. Back to the action, and Tom Whiteley has cleared very efficiently for Saracens. And Bristol are back in their own half. That's more like it from Saracens. Play in their half.
On your front.
The all-action Fenton Wells to throw in here. Very impressive. His transition from back row to hooker, but you can still see that flanker edge and desire in his actions around the park. Good carry from Toby. Vandal finds a gap out the back door. Here we go. James Dunn now. Great ball. There's that man. Fenton Wells. Vandal's in at scrum half. Ah, Tovey now. Is there a chance he's through? Look for the man on the inside. It's too easy. Sam Graham in support, lurking again. He, just like Fenton Wells, who was so impactful in that move, has been in support at every opportunity. A real dynamo around the park, and he gets his just desserts, crashing over for an equalising try. Here we are. It's out the back. Tovey makes the break. It's a missed tackle, and Graham right on the shoulder. Can't be caught until he's over the line. So, parity is on the horizon, pending the ability for us to find a ball so that Sheedy can take his conversion. No fuss taken in adding the extra 2 and bringing the scores level. Here's another look at that try. Tovey there. He's been great all game, carrying strongly, always hungry to get his hands on the ball. And look at him, Sam Graham's whipped up, tossing the ball out into the stand. Kick off from Malin, goes deep. Tovey again, hands on the ball, carrying muscularly. Out to Sheedy, big Ben in the middle. It's a familiar pattern that we've seen now from the 2 exits from kickoff from Bristol, but they go wide, and Aaron Chapman's in now. Rotty Segan deals with him. Good hands, nice line, but Bristol going nowhere. Sniping there now though, from Rhys Cullen, the Welshman. Saracens deemed to have disrupted illegally. It's taken quickly by Ryan Edwards, and he's on the march. Fends off one, fends off another. They're deep in Saracens territory. Ball going wide, but it finds a gridlock in the forwards out in the middle. A bit of momentum lost. Sheedy now marshalling Ehizoni. He's back up after that injury. He's been a carrying stalwart for them all games thus far. Shirked, Cosgrove. Cullen to Sheedy. Here's another busy man, Joe Batley. Oh, it's gone backwards. Play on, says the ref. Tovey again, cleaning up the mess. Bristol needs to find a bit of shape here. Potentially a kick coming to... Goes to the up and under. How's the chase? Vandal's up, tap back. Distributed, Sam Graham, the try scorer, out on the wing. Vandal in at scrum half again, carries short. Oh, great strength as he shakes Tompkins. And Cullen, Ehizoni. Oh, errant pass from Fenton Wells, but Bristol managed to stay hold of it. Cullen again. Jack Wallace does his share of the work. A little quieter than his man Tovey thus far.
Okay,
nice show and go from Ryan Edwards. Is the referee playing advantage for something? Yes, he is. Penalty for offside. Saracens in discipline. That'll be a relieving break in play for the big men, I think. A lot of carries from the Bristol forwards there. Ehazoni's been ever present, but Joe Batley increasingly taking the grunt work. With these big boys carrying, it allows Sam Graham and that man Fenton Wells to be scampering in the wider channels and being real nuisances in support. Bristol plump for the shot of the sticks to take a 17-14 lead with just about 4 minutes to go of this first half. That clock that we have displayed for you is subject to change as we're not perfectly in tune with the ref. But someone who is in tune with his boot is Callum Sheedy, who puts that over for a 3-point lead. Here's the break from the kickoff from Aaron Chapman. There's a lot of ambition straight from the kick from Bristol. They're not happy to put the ball back. And then we're going to see a carry from one of the big men. But we're back to live. That's the action we want to see. Here we go, the Bristol exit. Saracens unable to find an answer for it just at the moment. Lovely feet from Sheedy. His man Reeks, Cullen is in support. The ball's back in, Tovey spills it. But Sheedy mops up the mess, and there's still a chance out wide if it can get there. Unfortunately, Batley is a one-man carrying machine, not a distributor. And he takes it up. Sheedy looks for space behind Malin. Expertly fields it and puts the ball back in Bristol's court. Sam Graham, big carry, runs over Mark Flanagan, but he's still dragged down.
Tackle, release!
And Bristol again on the front foot. Vandell again in the scrum half position. He's been very, very busy, thirsty for work throughout the game. And Tovey really is their totem in midfield. Whenever things are going south, give it to Tovey and he'll give you some yards. Reece Cullen gives it again to Joe Batley. How many carries is that for the big fella this half? Must be nearing 10. He's been incredibly busy. Tovey, Harlem Globetrotter pass to Graham. It's gone out wide to Chapman, who breaks, fends off a tackle. Swift feet, is he in? He's in! Great try from Aaron Chapman. A combination of strength, fend, feet, and raw pace gets him in. He's had limited work out there, but he's come into the game increasingly in the last 10 minutes. Mainly in his own half, but look at the damage he can do when he's in enemy territory. Sheedy sizing up the chance to add another 2 to this scoreline. This already very impressive scoreline for Bristol. Will be delighted going into the half. Here it comes, gets on the halfway, steps in, breaks a tackle, steps Whiteley, and then puts the afterburners on. And no one is close. The kick's good, and that's half time. A slightly fractious first 20 minutes was followed by a real show of dominance from Bristol, who are really slipping through the gears. None more so than Aaron Chapman, who scored that wonderful try just there to close the half out. The half closes 14 points to 24 in Bristol's favour. Saracens Storm with conversations to be had and work to do to come back from this deficit in the second half. We're going to bring you a few of those replays. Here is Ben Earl's try, straight from the first set piece of the game. Unopposed in the midfield, glided through. It looks all too easy for the big man. Straight off the top ball to Malins, to Bertulloch, to Earl, to the sticks. Dream start for Saracens, but Bristol would respond. Vondel free down the wing with that searing pace. Sam Graham in support, stepping, carrying, and with the awareness to offload, to give it back to his speedster, the arch try scorer himself, Tom Vondel. Here we go again, a tighter angle, just to see him put the wheels on Mike Ellery, another man with plenty of pace. But really it was Graham's offload and his ability to freak his hands on the floor that left it easy street for Vondel. Saracens came back though. Lamasatelli, the one-man carrying machine, with Tompkins on his back, rode through three big Bristol tacklers to crash over and reopen the lead. It came from plenty of build-up phase play from the forwards. Conlon first, setting things up. Bristol should have known what was coming, but it's one thing to know, and it's one thing to be able to act upon. And Lamasatelli, with those piston legs of his, went charging through, and it was 14-7. Bristol almost immediately responded. Sheedy, who's been pulling the strings all day, gave it to Tovey, who's been carrying so strongly, and that man Graham, we spoke about his involvement in the first try, his awareness, his support play. Well, it was there to come to fruition with a try to make it 14 apiece. Bristol then went on the break. Some rangy stuff from the forwards. Fenton Wells, who's been scampering in the wide channels all game, setting up a breakdown, and Vondel, hungry as ever. He's been everywhere, looking for work throughout the game, setting up that Tovey break for the easy Graham offload and the dot down and the equalising score. And then a wonder try to finish it. Feet, strength, pace that the Saracens back three had no answer for. Even the sweeping of Tom Whiteley was futile as Aaron Chapman broke through, pinned his ears back and opened up a 24-14 lead for the West Countrymen going into the sheds. That's it for us for the time being. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back for the second half to deliver you what is turning out to be a tense and quality game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. With the half-time oranges consumed and some encouraging words given to both teams tactically, we're ready for the second half.
Cheers,
Speaking to Warwick Lang of Saracens before the game, he impressed on me the importance of a victory today. I'm sure that that'll have been reiterated to his troops in the sheds as they look to overcome this deficit. Bristol kick-off. Tom
18,
Whiteley
stay! 18!
Straight to Tom Varndale, who spills uncharacteristically. He smiles. He knows that was a missed opportunity. And not the way that Bristol would have liked to have started the half. Saracens with a good position to get the ball rolling early.
Reversal.
Substitution.
Keep that space, yeah? Keep our space.
So that looked to be a temporary one. Mark Flanagan was playing in the first half.
Okay.
And
back on.
yeah, maybe some spurious reason that John Kapoki was coming in for him for that 1 minute play. But we're as we were. Other than Jack Cosgrove has departed for Bristol, and number 17 Jack O'Connell is now on the pitch. Will that have an effect on the engine room here at scrum time? Malin finds Ellery. Whoa. Big defence from Bristol. Put the ball out the back under pressure. Ellery couldn't hold on to it, but it's adjudged to have been knocked on by a Bristol hand in the tackle. And Saracens will get another crack, albeit from a more central position, maybe 5 yards back.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Straight into the second row's feet, as ever, from every number 9 in the world. And a great shove from Sarries, yields the penalty. And here's a chance to boot it down into Bristol's half and build a bit of pressure. Malin's right out of the sweet spot. Gets it up onto the 22.
Edge of the line, Jude.
And here's a chance to attack. Around about this time in the first half was where they went straight to the line out, off the top, and Earl through the middle. I wonder if they're going to fashion the same move with a similar try resulting. Big carry from Tompkins, he offloads. Bertulloch. Sarries on the charge. Malins takes it to the line hard as he always does, so flat. And there's a replacement player, Sean Reffel. England under 20s. Alumni of Harrow School. Ruben Bertulloch with another carry. Here's a line from the new man who's come on. Number 17. Hayden Thompson-Stringer. Has he wrestled across the line? It looks like it to me. Referee's going to consult to his AR, but from where I was standing, that looked for all money to be a try. Referee consults his AR. He had judged it to be a double movement, and it's a penalty to Bristol. We'll try and get that up on the replay for you because that was a very tight call. Bristol clear. And a line out to come.
We come. No. Oh, right. You need to get 10 then.
Back row change also for Saracens. Sean Raphael. He's on for Joel Conlon. But the main man, Danny Cutmore, he steals the ball. And Saracens have opportunity now. Tom Whiteley snipes. Dragged down. Good hands there from Tag McElroy. Malin finds the inside ball. There's the new man. Raphael, has he got across? He's dragged down just short. Oh, wonderful tackle there to the oncoming Thompson Stringer. Saracens forwards queuing up now on this open side. Another carry. Who's that? Earl?
The hands blue.
He gets dragged down. Another attempt. Surely he's wrestled his way over. Yes, he has. Saracens with an early retort in this second half. And it's Tad McElroy, a man who has been very influential throughout the game. He had a big 30 minutes in the first half. A little quieter in the last 10, but here he shows his power getting across the line after a big carry from his pack. Goes short. Oh, very big. James Dunn can't contain him. And it's a perfect 3 from 3 for Malin. Saracens 21, Bristol 24. Great strength from McElroy here. The Ireland under 20, 5 games in the Six Nations this year with 3 tries, and that's one to add to the scrapbook in the A-League. They go deep to Earl. But he's lost it in the contact. Transition ball for Bristol. Chip from Reece Cullen. Managed by Matt Gallagher. But Bristol are streaming through. Saracens have held on to it.
Fight blue roll! Use it!
Whiteley fashioning for the box. Flat, straight into the hands of Varndell, who goes wide to Edwards, who almost runs into the ref and the injured man. So we have another break in play.
I know you
the elusive Edwards making some good ground there,
that's perfect, mate.
but thwarted by his own injured man and the referee, who were in his path. Fergus Kirby there, the man with the whistle, controlled the game very nicely. There were some early mutinous whispers from some of the players, which he nipped in the bud very sharply. Since then we've had no problems all game. Substitution there, Mike Ellery leaving the field, making way for Ali Crossdale. Big England under-20s winger, 97 kilos of him, formerly of Sedbergh School, which has a historic lineage of rugby players from Will Greenwood to Will Carling and James Simpson Daniel, a man who's excelled in his position at Premiership level.
Back on.
So Bristol losing a man here to injury, being helped off the park.
Just wait for me, boys.
We'll see who's getting called up. As their substitute D-Robes on the bench. That's Sam Tiley, who's currently at the University of South Wales. An academy graduate of Bristol, but didn't gain a full-time contract, so he's been off to university, playing and studying, but invited back to make a guest appearance today for Bristol. Big opportunity for him to show them what they're missing.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Big shove from Saracens again. Their scrum has been so dominant this half. And that penalty greeted with rapturous applause.
Back and forth, both sides.
High fives and bum slaps all round for the big men up front. The backs appreciate their grunt. And a great kick there. The Saracen scrum marmalising the Bristol boys. And they're whipped up. Off the top ball for Sarries. What are they going to do with it this time? It's out the back to Ruben. But he gets the ball away.
Leave it now, Black. Now leave it.
Huge hit in the middle there. Maylands puts the ball through. Rotty Segan. Is it going to fall for him? Surely. Try Saracens. The misshaped ball of rugby, the game we love, duping Aaron Chapman and falling pretty for Rotty Segan, who pounces upon the loose ball and dots it down after a Mayling grubber. Here we go. Evades him. Rotty Segan straight on it. And it's try Saracens. They're into the lead. 26-24. Kick to come. Max Maylands keeps the 100% kicking record of every kicker on the park intact. And it's 26-24. 28-24, my mistake. There we go. And Rotty secures it down. The action's back. Oh, there he goes again, Ryan Edwards. He's always breaking that first tackle. He's like a crowbar, the young man.
Leave it out, Black, leave it! Good lad.
Ryan Glynn now on the pitch for Bristol, controlling things at 9. That man, Tovey, what a player. What a game he's having. Out to Varndale, puts it inside. Tovey again.
Two release!
They go blind. Oh! Ryan Glynn fires a missile across the blind side that no one can handle. And it goes into touch. After Tovey's carry. Here it comes. A torpedo. It goes through 3 sets of hands. And you can see on the face of his wide men, they're disappointed at the loss of the opportunity. John Kapoku coming on now after his brief cameo at half-time. Mark Flanagan takes a well-earned rest. He's been dominant in the line-out and busy in the loose. Oh, is that Danny Cutmore is off? My apologies.
Right time to do it, no issue, right time to do it. Okay. Issue of legal dominance. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Another big shove from the Saracens scrum. They are all over the Bristol pack at the moment. And it's an alarming position to be in, because we still have 26 minutes left of this half. And Saracens are truly marmalising the Bristol pack in this set piece.
2 on the far side, 1 on this side.
Big kick from Sam Taylor there, putting it right into the danger zone.
If the pressure comes on, I need to go straight square.
$25 to go.
Woo! Don't change.
Saracens build.
Good.
And they get the ball back to Tad McElroy. Already with 1 try under his belt today.
Always moving.
He'd love an armchair ride from the rest of his boys. Straight to the Bristol whitewash. That looks dragged down illegally to me, and the referee agrees, but McElroy's still on the charge. Whiteley fishes it out the back door. Malins, oh! Tovey, smash. But did it go beyond the horizontal?
He's landed on his back. Penalty only.
That's the question. Doesn't seem to be the case.
2.
Although Matt Flanagan certainly inquires.
2. Momentum going forward.
They go back to the original penalty for dragging down that maul, which looked
There's 1 here.
like an unstoppable locomotive train.
Thank you. Scrum
And
there.
the culprit
Scrum down.
receives a yellow card. So Bristol down to 10. Down to 14 for the next 10.
Time's off. We need a hooker on.
Here's this hit coming from Tovey on Malins.
Last issue.
Whoa! I think he can consider himself fortunate not to be joining his friend in the bin there. Fortunately, Malins is okay.
We need a hooker for the different bin.
There's a stoppage in play just now, which I'm not too sure is for. Another substitution. Nick.
Okay, time back on, please, Jen. Thank you.
Let's go back 5.
In place of Sam Tiley, so Sam Tiley, who's just come onto the park, has had to make way for a front row replacement after Nick Fenton-Wells went to the bin there for dragging down the rolling maul.
Bind! Set!
Back to the play. Whiteley puts it in. The scrum still dominant. They're on the march. Bernard picks up. Oh, but the pass is behind Whiteley. Malins mops up.
Penalty advantage.
It's messy at the breakdown. But Bristol, a judge should have not rolled away.
I can go. You cannot take it quickly.
Bird Tulloch tries for the quick tap, but the referee says no.
There was no. Oh, absolutely. There was no.
As you'd expect, Saracens call for the scrum.
Into the path of 9. You need to make
These are
sure you roll.
desperate times for Bristol. They were suffering with 8 men, now down to 7. There's an air of inevitability about what's going to happen next with this scrum.
Hey, back 5, let's go. Rough. Second.
They set. It looks like Tovey's gone into the number 8 slot to add a bit more ballast there. I'm not sure that's going to help.
Got no issue there. Let's get the setup right.
Bit of procrastination from the Bristol front row there. eating a little bit out of that yellow card clock as well. I'm sure that's not on their minds.
Bind! Set!
Ball's in. Good scrum from Bristol means Whiteley has to pick up. They realign. Carry from Jack Ney. And is that for accidental offside maybe? Elementary error from Saracens just when they're on the charge and you thought it was going to be try time. Bristol escape.
Okay,
but they're still under the cosh. They only escape with a scrum, and we've seen how the last 5 have gone, and it hasn't made great reading. They'll need to be firm and exit ASAP.
Ladies and gentlemen, confirm the score substitutions thus far. TT Saracens has left the field for Hayden Thompson-Stringer. Dave Campbell for Jonathan Bogan. Joel Conlon for Sean Ricard. And Mike Henry for Ali Crossman.
How are we doing? 3?
Short stoppage here for an injury.
Are you with us?
Kieran Longbottom, just seeing himself right, the big Aussie. He's made of stern stuff. He looks like a man who loves the scrum as well, so he won't be departing the field with this opportunity.
Second then, please, fellas. Thank you.
Good, boys. Come on.
I'll step out the way. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Too eager though. Saracens
Three,
an early shove. Quick tap from Sam Graham. Was the wiser call to clear the lines with a kick to touch. Well, it's certainly looking so at the moment because Bristol are right under it after that charge down.
No hands!
Oh, it's mayhem. Charge down again.
Taken in.
Sheedy swamped. But
charge down into in goal. Ground.
Because it was charged down by Saracens, it's going to be a 22 to Bristol. Look, 3 men on him. And he did well to escape with just the 22 drop. Saracens charge, took the ball over the line. Sheedy landed on the ball. Therefore, it's Bristol 22 dropout.
Let's go, please, 10. Let's go.
Gallop. Kick through from Whiteley, looks a little heavy. Oh, with a more deft touch. Malins was definitely through and on that. Great vision, a little heavy in the execution. Bristol just cannot get out of their own 22 at the moment, but they can take some solace in the fact that they yet to concede during this period of pressure. 5 minutes remain on the clock with regards to the yellow card. So if they can just hold out, they can maybe get a chance to put their noses back in front. They need to be playing down this end of the park though. Ben Earl, another carry. It's been great today for Saracens.
Stay 5.
Sheedy under it.
Leave him,
Takes
11,
the
leave
mark
him.
and breaks quickly. Great feet. Where's his support? Here it is. With a interesting cross field.
Just come off your hand.
That's nudged on by the fingertips of Tom Varndell. Ryan Edwards, I think, Tovey then snaffles it, but it's deemed to be a forward pass from that touch from Varndell. Great break from Sheedy. It's twice we've seen him use quick feet and get round his man. He just needed a little bit of support. His wingman Fenton Wells He's in the bin at the moment, so there was no one to be on his shoulder.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Elbow 17, elbow.
Right, the Bristol
Use
scrum
it.
has really sorted itself out. Maybe there's a future there for him. But Tompkins is through, flat ball, Vondels is chasing him, he goes for the tap. But he evades him and Tompkins is in under the sticks. After fighting off all the pressure in their red zone, getting out of there, they concede to a try of first phase from some weak tackling in the middle. Vondel chased, went for the tap, but Tompkins was already away and scored his try to stretch this Saracens lead to 33-24. Malin's conversion is right in front of the poles, so we'll assume shortly it'll be 35-24. Here we go. Ruben Bird-Tulloch, take it flat, Tompkins on his shoulder, through the gap. Too easy. Bristol kick off. They go short. Good chase. Who's tapped that back? It's from a Saracen's hand, so it's play on. Whiteley, box is clear to Vondel. The chase was good. Slipped through the tackle though.
Legal counter-ruck.
Big counter-rucking from Saracens. But Bristol reply. Sheedy's on. Here we go. Great line speed from Saracens, smothering the Bristol attack. Ryan Edwards again through the gap, offload.
13 off!
To Jack Wallace, who gave him the initial
Well
pass.
done, 17, good lad.
Joe Batley, we haven't seen too much of him in the second half. It's been all defence for the West Country boys. Line from Tovey, off Sheedy. Can it go wide? No, Sheedy holds on to it. Edwards back on the ball. Carries. Glynn distributes. A chip over the top. We saw this before and Tovey collected last time. But Whiteley's wise to it, sweeping round. And the men in black are back in possession.
Take it in. Leave it out black.
Bristol pegged back in their 22.
Use it.
10 seconds left of this sin bin. Batley with another carry. Big clearance, big clearance. We're leaving a lot of pressure there, but the chase needs to be good. And it is, but Malins gets the offload, and there's another. Bennell's on hand to mop it up, and here we go. Tompkins, he's in some space. What can he do? Scythe down by Sam Graham. Sam Graham in for another hit as well. Whiteley gives it
13
to
roll.
May. Malins attacking the line as he has been all game. Very slippery customer. Oh, it's picked through the middle. Where's that come from? It's a dummy for the big fella. Dragged short. And Saracens are over. A robbery smuggled through the middle of the breakdown from Mark Flanagan. And let's see who got the touchdown in the end. There were 2 black shirts in support.
Yeah, got you, thank you.
It looks to be the substitute,
Yeah, got you.
Sean Raphael, England under 20. And Saracens are really, really beginning to run away with this now. With this kick to come, it'll be 42 points. And what's going to seem like a long old 13 minutes for the Bristolians. Malins makes sure, and it's 42-24. Here's the try again for you. Flight-footed Malins makes a break, kick from the back,
HIA
in the middle of the ruck, and then support players on hand to finish the job.
Hang on, just wait for me. Get your HIA on. Anna, why wait?
This sin bin has really proved costly
Not going to enjoy that, is he?
for Bristol. He won't be coming back on now that it's
You with this one?
now that it's gone. Instead,
Yeah,
Jack
you with us?
Cosgrove
On your run, boys.
comes back onto the pitch. Nick Freeman is going to continue the hookerly duties for the remainder of the game, having come on during that sin bin period.
3 leaving! Scrum
Big
advantage,
chase.
blue.
Here's a new man, Ewan Hughes, highly rated Ewan
Yes,
Hughes, and he's got some
advantage
feet on him and distribution skills. Frees up Jack Wallace, who's still not down, and Ewan Hughes is over the ball too. Sheedy still at 10, Batley still carrying, still that bailout option.
Never
He's got
on
through
ball.
some honest work today. Sheedy looking a little isolated.
Rock, no hands!
Takes three Bristol men to take the Saracens man off. Sam Graham, good ball. Vandell, he's been a little quieter this half than he was in the first. Takes it up. Oh, what a line from Joe Batley. He doesn't just truck it up, he cuts lines too, but he's tackled down. It's a bit of a mix up there at the breakdown. They lose some momentum, but Jack Wallace gives it back to them. Batley's there again, distributing now. Tovey, inside ball. Ryan Edwards taken down. It's still on. Sheedy, fast feet, trying to dance his way through. Offloads. Glynn. Here he is, Jack Cosgrove, just come back on. Glynn tries to go through the middle. No goalkeeper. Sam Graham out the back, but it just evades Vandell. If that had gone to hand, it was definitely try time. Nice play, just a little bit inaccurate. Whiteley, great clearance from him, beyond the halfway, takes a bounce, and it's a touch, and that Bristol promise is extinguished.
On your front man, please. We'll get your numbers. Tom off. Tom. Get Tom.
Little injury down here now. Looks to be Kieran Longbottom, is it?
You know where I'm going. For me, you didn't survive the clear out. That's why you didn't get
crucial in the scrum so far. This dominant scrum. So in this pause in play, gives us an opportunity to talk about some other fixtures that are on here. It's a busy stadium here at Allianz Park. They've had Middlesex Cup games throughout the week, including victories for Orleans Park in the under-16s plate. But next week, it's a biggie. It's the RFU Champions Trophy final. Dulwich College will meet Blundell's, as they are the two remaining teams in the 32-man straight knockout competition. Some great young players on show who fought their way to this prestige
Time on.
event at Allianz. That'll be followed by the Acer Colleges final, so a real day of rugby on Wednesday next week here at Allianz Park. Do get down if you want to see the next generation. Wonderful play from Saracens. Is he going to give it? No way! What a finish there from Ali Crossdale. He had a man outside him, but he didn't need him. He just put the hammer down and absolutely burnt Ewan Hughes there on the outside. Two pairs of fresh legs going head to head. Crossdale with the finish. Let's take a look at this. Malins going to the line. Interesting the defence. They get suctioned into him, which frees up the space for Crossdale, who jets through round the last man and in for a great score. 47-24, kick to come. Can Malins keep us at 100%? The game he's had, I'd back him. Straight and true. Wonderful kick from Malins. Here's another shot of that try. Just gets put through the gap. Edwards, who's had a brilliant game all day, flew up. Crossdale was through the gap, and Hughes didn't have the gas to deal with him. 8 minutes remain. Can Bristol register a score? They're currently without bonus point. That could be crucial in the reckoning when it comes to getting into that top 5 to be through to the second phase of the Southern Conference. So there's still plenty to play for from the West Countrymen. It all starts here in the Saracens 22, but they're fighting to get out.
Don't move, Black.
Alex Gilston
Backwards.
clears with a box. It's messy, but Earl comes up to it. He has been everywhere today.
Come advantage.
Stray pass on the boot. Referee acknowledges that it was a knock on.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you. Yeah.
And it'll be a Bristol put in
Right, we'll take time off.
with 60 metres to go if they're going to get
Time
this
off,
bonus point.
Yeah, it was a full pass, not knock on.
Time off for an injury on the far side. I believe it's a Bristol player, just trying to get a bit of a close-up. Those two events that I spoke of earlier, the schools final and the Acer final, are going to be on the England RFU pages. They're going to be streamed live. Should be a big crowd and a real showcase for the next superstars of tomorrow. We'll try and flash up some details of where you can catch those games next Wednesday, but they'll be happening in the afternoon, I believe at 2 PM and 4 PM. So if you're at school and you're on a free, you can catch it there, and if you're at work, maybe turn your computer to one side away from the boss and plug your headphones in.
Take time, fella.
So, not too many hostilities between the players. You can see them having a chat, spinning a yarn on how the game's unfolded. They've all got big seasons ahead of them and probably share similar aspirations. As I mentioned before, this fixture's really a who's who of England 20s representation. So a lot of these players will know each other from World Cup successes, Six Nations successes,
He's going off.
and the like. There we go.
He's 4 left.
It's not looking too severe. We don't have a spinal board out or anything like that. but a plaster casted boot and a couple of crutches. For James Dunn, who's been active throughout the game and put in a big shift. So he receives a warm applause from both benches and the crowd.
Over here, boys. Time back on, here's the mark.
And we're hot to trot
forward pass
for the last
Scrum
7
Bristol.
minutes.
Make sure.
As things stand, with this win, this bonus point win, Saracens will leapfrog Quins into 3rd place.
Okay, both teams standing up. I'm not quite sure why.
Having played 1 game more, they'll be on 16 with Quins in 15 with 15 points.
Right, let's go.
And if Bristol can fashion 1 more score, they'll grab themselves a bonus and move to 8 points with Bath and London Irish hot on their heels.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Defence still on top from
Clear out is
Saracens.
good. Fine, ball's out. .20 blue not releasing.
Penalty to Saracens.
The player picked the ball up.
That bonus point
They're not really.
is looking slimmer and slimmer for Bristol. Malins is going to put it into the corner. And they're going to be on the assault again.
It's clearly on his seat.
A little bit of a conference from the big boys of Saracens. I can imagine it's going to be up the jumper stuff.
Boys, nobody in front of your jumper here. Nobody in front.
I should mention also for Saracens that their women will be playing Harlequins at the Stoop tomorrow. Both sides unbeaten in a top of the table showdown. England women's rugby in rude health at the moment off the back of England's 3-0 whitewash of Canada. You'll be able to see superstars such as Jess Reach, the try machine for Harlequins. But Saracens have an uncompromising pack and a nice style of play, so it'll be a great game. That'll be getting streamed live, never on ball. But also you can get down to the Stoop and watch it yourself to see Saracens Quins in the men's following suit. Trucked up from the big men. Here we go. By Saracens, and that's the 50 point. The boys are delighted for the big fella John Kapoki, clearly a popular member of the side, and he's loving it. Big smile on his face. And high fives from all his team. Simple stuff. Having rolled the maul, they were patient. And really, Bristol, having defended for such huge parts of this half, are looking
my comms are down, no try, knock on.
Wow.
Sorry, I've got no comms. Hello?
The try has been disallowed, so the AR has stepped in. He spotted a knock on.
No
I think it might have been just at the base from Alex Gilkston prior to the ball going to the big man John Kapoki. We'll take a look at it just here. Boys. Just here.
Apparently he was shouting at me.
Little fumble. And eagle eyes from the AR informing Fergus Kirby that it was not to be awarded. And Bristol, again, a new opportunity to go coast to coast and bag this bonus.
Set!
Sam Graham no longer in the eight box.
Use it!
Counter-rucking from Saracens. Merciless Saracens, but they counter-ruck illegally. And Ryan Edwards is off quickly to Tovey, who fumbles.
No, it's 20!
But they recover. The ball slipped out, John Kapoki on it. But looks like there might have been some hands in there. And Bristol have another bite of the cherry. 3 minutes remain, under 3 minutes. So Sheedy is going to go for the touch. Too deep for Segan to retrieve.
That's you. That's you.
And Bristol need to look lively.
17 on your front man, please. Okay, that's fine.
Ryan Edwards once again with his hands on the ball. He's been impressive all day, Ryan Edwards. So is Joe Batley. His desire to carry and his willingness to put his hand up and do the nasty work has been phenomenal all game. But an inaccuracy from Briz there closes the game out. 49-24. Saracens the victors. They take a bonus point. They leapfrog Harlequins into third position. And Bristol, after performing so strongly in the first half, leave with nothing. So there you have it. The score in Technicolor for you is a game not lacking endeavour or application, and it had some real patches of class. Most notably, tries from Aaron Chapman for Bristol to close out the first half. And then we can't forget Ali Crossdale's searing pace in the second half to really rub salt into the Bristol wounds. Notable mentions throughout the game must go to Max Malins, who played fantastically and kicked all of his goals, as did Callum Sheedy. Tom Whiteley marshalled things nicely, and Tom Van Dal was looking very busy throughout the game. Jack Tovey was very impressive for Bristol, along with Sam Graham, but really the man of the match must go to the man who got the ball rolling, who scored the first try, was everywhere and led from the front. It's Saracens captain Ben Earl. Who is probably wrapped up in a substitute's jacket quite sensibly as the evening closes in and this brisk day gets even brisker. Saracens lead the tunnel to end what was a well-contested match throughout. Saracens really ran away with it in the second half. Their scrum dominance became unmanageable for the Bristolians. Who also went down to 14 men, losing one of their key influences, Nick Fenton-Wells, for dragging down a rolling maul. For the duration of the second half, Bristol spent their whole time pretty much in their 22. And when you're playing your rugby in that zone, you're always going to come off second best. Saracens, to their credit, having been down 10 points at half-time, came out of the sheds firing on all cylinders and scored 5 tries in a second half that blew Bristol away. A bit of second half action to refresh your minds. And it's all Saracens, I can tell you. Here we go. This is Tad McElroy fighting his way over. James Dunn, try as he may, just couldn't handle the raw power of the Irishman. The Ireland under-20s capped hooker, who was influential and had meaningful impacts throughout the game and was deserved of his try. Next up, it was Rotty Seagun. Malins put the ball through, and the scorer of that brink of half-time wonder try, Aaron Chapman, juggled the ball, and Rotty Seagun pounced. He sensed it, instinctive run from him, and he was there in the nick of time to secure the next 5-pointer, converted of course by Mayland. The next try was Tompkins, searing through the middle. Bristol had been under the pump for a long period of time in their own 22. They just managed to emerge, having not conceded. And from the set piece once again on the halfway, Tompkins burst through, not to be caught by Vandal. And it was another score from the men in black. Saracens were rampant at this stage, and Mark Flanagan, who was industrious throughout, picked through the middle of the ruck, and there were black shirts queuing up to get their hands on the pill to pick up a meat pie for themselves. Sean Raffel, he was the greedy guzzler as he picked up and barraged his way through, coming off the bench to take 5 points. Closing proceedings was the best try of the half. Ali Crosswell was put into space by Maylands, who caused trouble all game with the speed and the flatness of which he took the ball to the line. Ali Crossdale was on hand for the short ball, coming at 100 miles an hour, at which he then ramped it up to 110 miles an hour to round his opposite man with a great turn of pace and feet, and really crescendo, a wonderful performance from Saracen Storm. So, it leaves me to thank you for joining us for the game. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. It's 5 points for Saracen Storm. Bristol lead with nothing. The game finishes 49-24. Thank you for joining, and join us next time.